What up, pet guys? Jason Guyman here with King of Pressure Wash, and tonight we're going to talk about something that's fun and exciting to talk about. It's something that I love to talk about, and it's how do we get this stupid phone to ring? You know, when I first started my pressure washing business, this stupid thing wouldn't ring to save its life. I mean, I tried everything to get this thing to ring, and so tonight we're going to talk a couple different ways to get this thing ringing, but mainly one way that I'm going to hit on mostly for tonight. And so there is a reason why I'm going to do it for mostly this one reason tonight. But you know, I love helping people get their phone to ring. And so I'm going to kind of give a couple stories that the reason behind this, so that way you will be able to see why it is important and how do we get the phone to ring. And I know some people in the country that have been busy and they're killing it, and I can show you some of that success. I can also show you, I've had people that have been struggling a little bit and they're not doing as good as they have in the past, and some of these are the big guys, and some of the big guys are doing good, some of the big guys are not doing good. And so I'm going to hit on a couple different areas of how we get this phone to ring. And this does go for pressure washing and Christmas lights. And I know I'm on my Christmas light channel also. And so this does work for both people. And so that is where we will get hitting the ground and running. And so with that said, I'm going to ask a question for the people that are in here now, and I would like for you to answer it. What has been the best way in 2023 for you to get your phone ringing? That's what my question will be right now. What is the best way that you can get your phone ringing? And so this is where we will see and how we will go from there tonight. Before we get going on here too far, I want to see who we got on here. We got John. Hey there, Jason. How are you doing? We got Nathan. What's up? We got Pink Robin down in Florida area. We have Big Rob. What's up from New Jersey? We have Mr. Rick. Hey. Good evening, Scott Ferguson. What's up? Looking good, brother. I haven't tuned in a bit while dropping those pounds. Nice job. Yep, I have lost 50 pounds. Now, I did have a little hiccup this week. I was down to 266. And I got on the scale and it went the opposite way that I didn't want it to. And it's kind of weird. So like I'm actually back up to 271. So that means I've only lost 8 pounds instead of 53 pounds. And so it's kind of funny with my weight. It kind of goes, I'll lose, and then I'll gain 3 or 4 or 5 pounds. And then I'll lose, gain 3 or 4 pounds. And so I mean, my goal is to get to 250. I got my eye on the prize, and so that is where I want to be at. And yes, I did change with the shaving because I still got a little bit of a no neck, but it's way better than it was before. So that's the reason why I shaved. And people said I look like 10 years younger. So I'm like, why would I want to look like an old guy? I want to be young at heart and young looking, right? Not that I need to impress anybody, but hey, that is what it is, right? So what's up, Jeremy? How are you doing? I'm so happy to be back. Got my 200th review today. Now that right there is a high five. That's awesome. That is definitely something that everybody should be giving a thumbs up for, because that is a huge task to get to. I know that Jason Hefner has been trying to get to his 200, and that is a big win for sure. Doing okay for my first year. Average ticket so far is $750. Money bushes for Pink Robin. Networking, I use yard signs mostly. Money bushes, social and signs. Door hangers, scanning Facebook yard signs. I need motivation, get up and get moving. Yard signs. Been a while. What's up? I use networking. All right. So a lot of people use yard signs, referrals in Google, yard signs, organic search map, the whole 9 yards. Flow check-in. How do you like your old videos? I don't. I didn't like them, but we're working on it. Pro exterior cleaning in Louisiana. Got to get owning these things. You get here. I'd keep her. All right. So let's hit on one of the things of how we can get the phone to ring. And the reason why I'm asking this question is because I do believe that this can be what sets us apart versus what doesn't set us apart. I was actually talking to a friend down in Lexington today on the phone, and he was talking that he's doing well, right? He's at $100,000 right now. And so he's doing well. He's doing better than normal. And I know how he does his marketing. And now he did a lot of SEO back in the day. He's been in business for 12, 13, probably about 15 years now. And so he's been around for a long time. So he has a big thing. And so these are the people I don't really worry about so much, but it's the people that are just getting started. And the reason why I say that these are the people that are just getting started is because I'm training myself to cold call. I have a script and everything, even reading psychology books, they wouldn't say no. Yeah. And so we were on our Monday night marketing call. And if you want to know more about Monday night marketing call, you can go to kingofpressurewash.com. And in the membership, every Monday night, we have a marketing call. And Rick was on there. And Rick has been in business for 4 years, maybe 5 years. This might be his 5th year. And Rick is from New York. He's from up in New York. And so Rick had joined my membership. Even he had been in business for 4 or 5 years, joined the membership this winter. And through that, before he had joined the membership and joined those Monday night marketing calls, his average ticket was like $200 to $300. I wasn't going to play the clip here, but my computer's not moving fast enough and it would probably bog everything down. And that's the reason why I didn't want to do that. I was going to, and I couldn't get it to shut off the last time. The last thing I want to do is let it keep running. And so through that, his average ticket was only $200, $250. And the problem he had is he couldn't get his phone to keep ringing, right? And that was his problem. And he's been doing, like I say, he's been doing this 4 or 5 years. And so through this, he actually went ahead and started doing what I said. And now he had tried to do what I'm about to say, but the problem of it is he didn't always listen to what I said before. And a lot of other people usually don't listen to what I say the first time until they do it. And they say, oh, you're right, Jason. I should have did it this way. I thought of doing it this way would be better because I know better. And when you come back and you say, you know what, you're right, I agree. Anybody else ever not agree with Jason and try to do it on their own, and then they realize that what Jason is saying is right? If that's the case, give me say that's me down in the comments, because I know there's a bunch of you. So he was trying to do what I'm about to show of what I'm not to do, and that is put 20 things on your yard sign, right? 20 things on your yard sign doesn't get your phone ringing. It just doesn't work that way. So that's a way that it doesn't work. And so he changed the way he started doing it, and he started raising his prices. And so he had said that this month he did a $12,000 month. Last month he did not the month. Last week he did a $12,000 week. The week before that he did $11,000 week. And so he calls it these stupid ass signs is what he called it. And he kept it simple, just pressure washing, and big phone number. And that's all we need. We don't need all of the logo behind it because there's not enough branding there that we're going to be able to brand ourselves through a yard sign. A lot of people think that our logo is our brand. And if I wanted to tell you something, that is the furthest from the truth. A logo has nothing. It has one part of the brand. There's like 7 parts of a brand, or 7 or 9 parts of a brand. And the logo is like a half of one. So that is, don't have a whole lot. And so by him doing yard signs and putting out yard signs, his phone has rang and rang and rang. And the beautiful thing of it is his average ticket went from $250 to $300 to over $700-800 per job. So by getting our phone to ring, it has a lot of things that make things happen better, right? If we can get our phone to ring, then we can give out higher price tickets, and then we can close more jobs at higher tickets, and then we can do less work, and then we can make more money, right? Because the goal is not to do a lot of work and make no money. You know, I was listening to Myron Golden today, and Myron Golden was a garbage man. He was literally like he was a garbage man in New York. He was told he was stupid when he's young and all of this stuff, and now he's almost a billionaire. He's worth lots of money. Like if he goes and speaks, he charges $250,000 just to go speak at somewhere. So his speeches are worth a lot of money to go hear him talk. And so he was saying, and I get this because we're taught this from a young age, is time is money, right? Who in here thinks time is money? Can anybody tell me who thinks time is money? And when we think this way, I'm going to get you some things to think about. When we think about time is money, if you think that is true, here's what I'm going to ask the question of it. Here's the question for you, that if you think time is money. If you think time is money, then if I gave you $10 million tomorrow, but the only stipulation is you die tomorrow night. Now, would you want that $10 million? Or would that not be worth it, right? That's not worth it, right? And so we have to think about these things. How can we hone our skills so that way we can save our time for other things because you only get so much time. Everybody watching this only gets so much time. Some of you get more time than others. Some of you get less time. Some of you might not be here tomorrow. We don't know. You don't know, right? And so this is why it is important that we're able to get the phone to ring, because, you know, I know Big Rob is trying to hit his $100,000, and I want him to be able to get to his $100,000. But here's how you got to get to your $100,000. You know, charging cheap prices doesn't get us to $100,000. In our group, someone asked, how do you get to $100,000? And they said, charge as much as you can. Because when we don't charge enough, we don't make enough, and we can't get enough jobs to get us to the point that we want to get to. And so this is why it is important of how you do this and how you make this happen, right? And so if you want to go get signs, moneybushes.com is a good place to get them. I appreciate it. It does help me out. And get signs that are simple. Big phone number, big service. Pressure washing preferred. House washing doesn't do as good as pressure washing. I've actually been doing this from somebody else, so that's why we need to make that happen. So that is, I've died 2 times and still here. So you are a cat of 9 lives is what it is. Is that what it is? That's where I need to be at, $30,000 a month. Jason, I just booked my biggest ticket ever, a $2,500 job, which is awesome. So now I want to hit on something else on here. I think I am. I asked a question of what is the most you ever made off of a single sign. Now, this isn't just Jason blowing smoke up your tail to tell you to go get signs. I'm going to show you how people have made over $100,000 just in 11 comments by just one sign per each person. So there's a reason to my madness, because I know you can do this and I want you to do this. And so there is a reason to my madness, right? Because I want to help you and grow your business. And so if we scroll up here, I'm going to just show you what is the most you made off of one sign. And here are some answers. Wes, 3,000. He just started. Wicked, 3,600. 4,000. He started last year. Robert James, 52. $5,600. $80,000 on a commercial property. Again, you never know what that one sign is going to be worth. I will tell you that that one sign that you do not post is worth nothing. If it's sitting in your garage, it is worth nothing. And so 12,000 initial contract, and then every 3 months is 5,000, 15,000, 1,400, $6,400 HOA. This year, they sent a bid out for 28 on another HOA and got a call the next day for another quote that was 6,500. The 28 and 6,000 are not locked in yet, but at the end of the day, this was all off of one sign, right? One sign, one money bush. But that money bush, if you don't put it out, it is worth nothing. And so it is definitely something that we need to do, and we need to make sure we are being consistent. So how can we make sure that these yard signs are working? Now, I get it. There are a lot of signs out there. I understand that. I understand that I've been teaching this enough that people are starting to do more and more yard signs. You used to not see as many, but you are starting to see more. And so what are some etiquette for yard signs, right? What are some etiquettes for yard signs? Well, one etiquette is if you see a yard sign, don't go take down a yard sign. Don't be petty and knock that yard sign down. Did you know if you put your yard sign right next to their yard sign that you will get more calls? Did you know that? Do you believe that? If you put your yard sign, next to somebody else's yard sign, you will actually get more calls. You know, Pepsi and Coke did this thing where Pepsi went and put the Pepsi machine there and by itself, and it was either do I want a Pepsi or do I want the nothing, right? And so that's they only sold like 100. When they put Coke machine right next to the Pepsi machine, they got like a lot more, because now you got Pepsi or Coke, not yes or no. And so it actually helps you to put your sign next to someone. It is not smart to block someone. That's not what's the smart thing to do. If you're going to be smart, because people are going to be like, why did he block that yard sign? What's he so afraid of that sign behind him, right? And so if you put them next to each other, it will actually do better for both. So one of my guys in my mentorship, he put out a sign last year that had an old phone number, and he put out another sign next to it that has his new phone number, and they look different. And so 5 minutes, he gets a phone call from this one, and 20 minutes later, he gets a phone call for this one. And so they called both signs. And that's why because now, we give them options for packages. Well, now they're getting options for who's going to answer the phone. And so if you don't answer your phone, then don't put out no yard signs, because you're just wasting your time and you're just wasting your energy if you don't do this. So that is one thing for yard signs. Now, when I was in business, I had a competitor, and it wasn't Fresh Rent. He was a competitor, but it wasn't this competitor. This competitor I'm talking to got in lots of fights with people and got in lots of sign wars. And this person went and he accused me of taking his signs. I never took his sign. I didn't care about his signs. but you accuse me of taking my signs. So then I put a bounty on them. I had my guys, and every sign they brought me in of his sign was $5. Because, yes, I am that petty of, if you're going to mess with me, then if you're going to accuse me of something that I didn't do, then yes, I am going to take it and run with it, right? And so that's what I did. And so this same competitor, after I had quit, he went and pissed off another person. It wasn't Fresh Rents. It was another competitor of ours. And he went and had a full garage of his signs. And he said that if he saw him come across there again with his sign on the other side of 75 or 71, I think it was, 75, 71 kind of go up through Cincinnati, straight up and down through it. And he said that if he come through there, and he did it on a burner phone, so they couldn't know who did it, but they had all his signs in there. And he's like, I will bring these signs and I will burn your stuff down. And so with that kind of calmed that dude down. And he actually sold this past year or last year to the same business that I sold to. So the Greater Cincinnati, I was doing $1 million. He actually got his business up to $1 million also. So now that one company, it's bought both of us. So now they're doing $2 million just in the Cincinnati area. And so that's kind of what happens when we are dealing with signs and how we do signs. So don't go piss people off. I was talking to, and I know a lot of people put a lot of signs out. So one of the big competitors, he ain't a big competitor. He's actually out of Indianapolis. Sam Elst from My Guy Services, he puts out thousands of signs a month. Like lots and lots of signs, 500-600 signs a month. Actually, I bet it's closer to 1,000 signs a month. He has concrete ceiling. He got into a war with somebody, and what happened is all the competitors started ganging up on him, and now they just take his sign and all the other signs stay down there. So don't be stupid. You might think you're cool and you might think you're the big dog of taking signs. Don't be stupid. That's all I'm going to say is, don't be stupid, because, karma is going to bite you in the end. I guarantee you, karma will bite you in the end. So don't steal somebody else's sign. Just put your sign right next to it, and I guarantee you both will do better in the end. So that's the way you be nice and do it. Now, if there's like 10 signs there, that might be a little excessive, and you're probably nobody going to get the phone call. So that is what I'm going to hit on first, is don't be stupid with signs. And then, yard signs do work amazing. It is awesome how they work. And so, but how do we be consistent with it? A lot of times people ask me, what do I need to do to get this stupid phone to ring? And the answer is consistency. No matter what we do, consistency is key. Because I've had people say, man, I put out 100 signs and I haven't got nothing. Is that being consistent, putting out 100 signs? No, that's not being consistent. $350 worth of signs out and you didn't get no phone calls is not being consistent. What's being consistent is every week we're putting them out. In mentorship, not in my membership, but in mentorship, kingofpressurewash.com/mentorship. I had a thing of set up your marketing plan. What is your marketing plan? Do you have a marketing plan? I see a lot of people, they'll be like, man, my mailers are doing good. So these people are like, I'm going to go do mailers. But they're not consistent because they're going after shiny object. They're going after shiny object syndrome, right? Ooh, that's what this person's doing. Ooh, that's what this YouTuber says. Ooh, that's what this... But you don't always understand where everybody is coming from, right? I just showed you people that have made over $150,000, $60,000 off of 11 people. And so, but the key that most of these people is consistency. Hey, I am going to go put out 200 yard signs every month all the way to the end of the year. or all the way through the end of pressure washing season, and I'm going to put out 200 yard signs a month for Christmas lights, right? I'm going to be consistent, prolific, and relentless. Jason Hefner, in his area, the signs get pulled, but he is relentless and gets up at 3 o'clock on Saturday mornings to go put out yard signs. So that way they stay out for Saturday, Sunday, and they get pulled on most Mondays. But he is relentless to go out there and put those yard signs out every week, right? Every week he's doing it. And so you have to be relentless. And so just like we're relentless with our yard signs, we got to be the same for our reviews. A lot of times I ask people, how many reviews? He goes, I only got this many. Well, what are you doing to get them? Well, nothing. Well, guess what you get out of nothing? Can anybody tell me, if you do nothing, what do you get out of it? When you do nothing, what do you get out of nothing? It's not just consistency. It's a relationship with customers for years. I agree to that to a point. If you've been in business for years, sure. But if you've not been in business for years, I don't agree with that, right? I don't agree with that. Now, I do agree with repeats and asking for referrals, and there's a lot of things that go along with getting the phone to ring, and I get that. I'm not saying that. I am saying this is, where's the best? That's a good question. I'll answer that here. I would say that a lot of people, even businesses that have been in business a long time, when I always hear people say, I just grow my business by word of mouth and I just do good work. I heard it today. But that same person that I was talking to, his business hasn't hit over $400,000 ever. And he's been at the 350, 400,000 for 10 years, for 6, 7, 8, I bet 10 years he's been there. And he can't get over that hump, because that hump is only going to get you so much. It's only going to get you so much. If you're happy with that, then that's fine. But there's other things that are going to help you get to past that, right? I've got Mr. Turned in $22,000 of estimate. I got Chris Johnson, been in business for 19 years and hasn't made no money until the last 4 years, until he started making money. He did 200, and then last year he did 500, and this year he's going to do $1 million. I guarantee he's going to do $1 million. But he's not just doing, I'm just going to do my referrals. No, he's doing yard signs. He's doing Google. He's doing Google Local. He's doing asking for referrals on every job. He's asking for the review on every job. He is doing everything to grow his business. And because he's not comfortable at $500,000. He's not comfortable. His vision is to do a $5 million, $10 business. And people might think you're crazy, but it's possible. I promise you, it's possible. And that's the awesome thing about this. They hammered down on yard signs in my county, and it sucked. I'm calling tomorrow to figure out the fine, and I may just pay it. And then at that point, maybe you just put them in the yards that you do, and you put them out in the countryside, right? That's what you learn, that sometimes those ones out in the countryside, they last forever, and you don't get called on, and they don't get picked up. So that's the cool thing about doing those. So this is a good question. Where do I place my yard signs? Where was that question? Up right here. Put on 8 estimates today, converted 4 already, fast response time. Exactly. This right here, this here is the most important thing you can do. Did you know, how often do you get requests on your phone, right? How often do you get when someone calls you, how fast do you get that quote out to them? Is it that night? Is it 2 weeks later? Is it never, right? When we get this quote, we need to get this quote to them ASAP. Most houses are going to be anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 square feet, and your prices should be pretty much what it is every time, between 2,000 and 3,000 feet, right? It's bam, bam, bam. And so you can just bam, move it out and get it done. And so it's simple, easy, and just get it done. So If you don't know, then that's going to take you longer. Now, my next question is how long does it take you if someone fills out a quote form on your one there? Then how long does it take you? Well, then if it takes you 3, 4, 5 months or 3, 4, 20, 30 an hour, 2 hours, you're probably not going to close that job. And this is for pressure washing and Christmas lights. Harvard did a study that if you do not, when someone fills out a form on your website, if you do not call them or get in touch with them within 5 minutes, you're like 98% you will not close that job. So that's why it's so important that we get this done. And I agree with Jeremy 100%, is getting fast response has a lot to do with it. They always say that if the first person that answers their phone is like 85% chance that they're going to close the job. Did you know that part of it? That's another part that you need to know. Where's the best place to put yard signs? I put them everywhere. I put them at schools. I put them by churches. I put them at one of my main roads coming in. It's a 4-lane highway, and I put them every intersection. At McDonald's, when someone's at McDonald's that might be behind a bush, and when they look over, hey, there's that nice sign, right? We put them everywhere. I put them all the way down through there. I don't discriminate. I go everywhere with them. So that's how I do it. Turned in almost $22,000 of invoice, but still get those calls of small jobs I feel I don't have time for, but these people work hard for me spreading the word of our business. It's a tough call. Yep, it is. But you running a business, not a 503c nonprofit. Haven't turned in a while. Almost didn't recognize you. Yeah, I have changed a little bit with the weight gone and that. Late to the show and missed Monday. Blew my knee out. Oh, no, that sucks. And had to have surgery. I hope you're doing better. I hope you're doing good. Because that sucks. Missed Sunday. XJet any good to wash a roof? You can. You got your best to turn the pressure washer down. It's not the best way to do it. I don't really recommend it that way. I have 30 signs out, but the phone stopped ringing, and after being booked out 2 months, Jason, you have helped me so much. And that's the thing, right? We're going to get to the point that the phone is going to start slowing down. We're getting into June and July and August. And if you're just starting out and you didn't know this, June, July, and August are typically slower months. I mean, you might, if you're normally doing 10, 20,000, you might do 5, 10,000. So it's definitely will slow down. Number one key to business is taking action to support that business. You're going to get an answering your phone when they do call. Putting out $100 to 200 yard signs a week. Yep. I get a quote out in 10 minutes. And that's why you're booked out for 2 months. See, Mike Manning just said that he was booked out for 2 months, which if you're getting that far booked out, you want to raise your prices because you want to raise your prices. But 100 to 200 yard signs a week. That's where we want to be at. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I get a call. Super chat, $4.99. Thank you. So I want to hit on one other thing here. Money bushes obviously are awesome. If you haven't and you want to sign up for the in-person training, I'm having an in-person training for permanent lighting and for pressure washing training. It's June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I believe are the dates. 2nd and 3rd, it's the Friday and Saturday, will be permanent lighting. We are actually going to go put lights on a house. We're actually going to go and put them up, install them, show you all the different ways to install them. We're going to show you how to sell them and how to make money and be profitable off of them. I'm not the one teaching that class. It will be Tyler Zimmerman. I did put them up on my house. They do look pretty cool. You can do lots of cool things with them. There's a lot of people making a lot of money with them. And so if you want to look at them for Christmas lights and or for permanent lighting, it is definitely something I would tell you to do. Again, the pressure washing class will be Sunday or Saturday and Sunday. So go check that out and go get signed up before it sells out. When customers call before they hang up, they receive the quote. If I have to go bid the job, usually commercial jobs, before I leave their business, they have a quote. Good job. And then one last thing is if you need any marketing, you can go check out kingofmarketing.io. I've got it there. This is one of my latest websites that I got. I will put the link in here. If you want to go check out this website, I think it'll go. If you want to check it out and see the website that I built for pressure washing services for Bryce out of Maine, and that is one of my latest pressure or the last one I got put up here. Let's see, where would you be at for sand and seal? So you're talking about pavers. I would be anywhere from about $1.75 to $2.50 a square foot, depending on what they want. If they want a different color of sand, if you're just using regular sand, then that's where I would be at. If you have to go through and do a different sand, then I would be raising up my prices. Hello, Jason. Can't wait for pressure or Christmas lights. That class will be in, I can't wait for Christmas lights either, but if you want to learn how to do Christmas lights, that class will be in July, and we have one in September and October, but you really want to get that class as soon as you can so you can start working on the marketing side of it, so that way you will be ready to go when it's time to go. Started sticking business cards in the bottom seal of the driver's side window. When people pass by, have been grabbing them and calling me. Yep, good thing. It's an easy way to do it. Magnets are another way. Thank you. I'm assuming 12 volt is the way to go. It is definitely the way it's going. How's the weight loss? Like I said, I got down to 266, and then I went up to 271, which puts me back over not losing 50 pounds. Yesterday, me and my daughter ran, and I almost made it a whole mile jogging, not running, like out running, but jog. I almost made it a whole mile without stopping, and that was a huge thing for me. I think my mile was down to like 13.2, and we did 3 miles total, so that's pretty awesome. You're starting to look like a gym teacher. I'd have to shave my head. How does the big companies with lots of employees stay busy? They do lots of marketing. You know, they're doing lots of marketing. They are doing phone calls. They're calling past customers. They're doing text to past customers. They basically are doing everything that I say, and they're doing it really good, and they're getting better with it. And like us, we really hammered on the commercial work. So, you know, in June and April, May, and usually March, April, May, we had 2 to 3 trucks running residential with 1 truck running commercial. And then in June, July, and August, we flopped it. So we'd have 3 trucks running commercial and 1 truck running residential. We always had 1 truck running residential because that's our cash flow. If you don't have cash flow, you better have lots of money in the bank. And when you're running that kind of company, you don't always have lots of money in the bank because lots of money come in, lots of money go out. And so that's why residential was so important, is because it helps get that where you're at. Where do you get those yard signs? Moneybushes.com. Where to get cheap yard signs? Moneybushes.com. Is the class at the same place? The class for Christmas lights or for the class that we'll be doing here in Northern Kentucky is going to be at the Comfort Inn, is where it will be at. And then we will be putting lights up around there. My phone's not slowing down, and the weather has not really even started yet. It's your slow work to access no excuses. I bought a random line crew Chick-fil-A for lunch. Already booked 2 jobs from his referrals. Right? Networking is key. You go do networking, it costs you let's say it cost you $50. How many did you book? A random line care Chick-fil-A. So if there's 3 people, it's $10 a person. That's $30. So you spent $30 and you got 2 job referrals, right? Who wouldn't do that? I would spend $30 all day long and get 2 referrals. 1 referral, I would be happy with 1 referral. I'm happy with no referrals if he's just giving out my name, right? And so that's why it is important that we do this. What's up? What is the formula to figure out the square foot of a roof pitch? I don't know. I just times it by 40 cents a square foot, 35 to 40 cents a square foot, whatever it is. I'm geeked for lights. Pavers, does that price include the sealer or is it just labor? That includes the sand, sealer, the whole 9 yards. I started losing my weight loss journey. That's awesome. I'll help you make it a mile. Have to, me and Dan, how about me and Dan will stay together then? Have to shave my head. The guy who runs the Huge does $20,000 a month in just EDDM, but he knows he can 6 times it. And it's true, right? He knows when to send them. They know when not to send them. He sends $100,000 a year in EDDM. And that's how you do it, right? You know how to go, and guess what? You start hitting that money machine, and you figure out ways that you get the phone ring. Because yes, he spends that in there, but he also does Google Ads. He's got Facebook. He has a marketing director that does marketing, that does SEO, and all the other stuff that goes along with it. When you're a big company, you don't put all your eggs in one basket and say, here's all my eggs, because what happens if the mail drops out, right? Now you have nothing. So you have to do all the things to make any which way you can to make that phone ring. Hi, Jason. The premium includes in-person training. Thank you for your time. No, it does not. How long did it take you to lose 50 pounds? So I started January 9th. So 4 months, I've lost 50 pounds. So that was I know that's a lot pretty quick, but never arrive, people push forward. Where is that class at? So if you go to King of the KPW train, it'll take you there, King of Prussia, either which way. This is just a quick way that I can tell you how to get there, and it'll take you all to the same page. The one in Cincinnati it's actually in Florence, Kentucky. I know I say it's in Cincinnati, but it just makes it easier that way. Because when you fly into Cincinnati, the airport's literally like 10 minutes from it. If I told you somewhere else, it would make no sense to you. So the airport and the hotel we're having it at, it's about 10 minutes away from each other. Pressure washing new pavers, post-construction, any advice? If they got sand in them, you're going to probably blow that sand out everywhere. Sterling, are you still in Sterling? Only in Sterling? No, he goes a little bit everywhere. Roof is best guess house is 2,000, 2,800. Yeah. Charge him high so you don't pull polymeric sand, which is why I make sure to do this prior. Greg Townsend needs to come back on the show. I agree. Yes, I'm actually getting your site worked up right now as we speak. Hopefully I'll have it done by Friday. That's what my goal is. How long is the Mother's Day special? Is it over? I know Mother's Day is the special offer. Yeah, I don't know when she set that up to. What's up, Jason? Hope everyone's killing it. Oh, I thought it was Fred's rental house. No, that's actually, that's Christmas lights. So that'll be the Christmas light ones up there in Indianapolis. More like $2 to $3 a foot. How do you compete in a saturated market? I'm in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and it's ridiculous amount of pressure washing, especially the $99 guys. Let's talk about that. Don't worry about them. That's what you do. Because this guy right here can say the same thing. I guarantee you there's more pressure washers in Lexington, Kentucky than there is in Alabama. Just or even Florida, if you want to talk more pressure washers. You can't worry about your competitors. If you worry about your competitors, you will never get in, you will never grow, you'll never do anything. I always tell the story of Jason Hefner, right? Jason Hefner was in Florida, and he was one of my very first ones in my mentorship. It was with Boxer, and so we did it. And so he talked to me every day. There's been bunch of people in my mentorship, but he was one that talks to me every day. He still talks to me almost every day. And so when he started, he was like, Jason, there's no way I can make money down here. There's only $99 guys. And I said, quit worrying about your competitors. Follow the process. You want to know what the process is? Go to kingofpressurewash.com, and that's the system, right? There's a system to the madness. It's not just one piece, but you have to do a system. And it doesn't matter if you're the $99 guy. There's literally $99 guys that have come and gone with Jason. Jason Hefner has an average ticket of almost $800 to $1,000, and he did $250,000 in 2022. He's probably going to do $300,000 in 2023, and he follows the system, right? If you're worrying about this person over here, we're not worried about our business over here then, because we're focused on what is Johnny Boy doing. I can't believe Johnny Boy did this, and Johnny Boy and Bob over here is doing this, and this person is doing that, and while you're on your own business going, I haven't done nothing on it because I've been looking over here at all of these competitors. I promise you there's competitors everywhere. I don't care where you go at, there is competitors everywhere. I got Nathan here. I can show you two competitors. Here's Nathan. Here's a competitor for him, right? So there's two competitors. They're right next to each other. They both go to Winchester. Sterling comes to Lexington, and they're competitors, right? You can't worry about your competitors. If you sit there and focus on worrying about our competitors, you're not focusing on your business. And if you're not focusing on your business, what can I do today that I can do better than I did yesterday? Can I follow up better? Am I asking the right questions? Am I learning how to close better? Am I making sure that phone is getting answered better than what I did yesterday? I don't care if they answer their phone or not. Am I answering the phone? You know what? And I guarantee you're not answering the phone as much as you need to, right? Because if today I only answered 40% of my calls, well, today can I do 41%? Can I answer 45%? Can I answer 50%? What can I do better than I did yesterday? Did I do my 5 rounds? When I'm talking about all of this stuff, it's not just for me blowing hot air. It's back to the 26 steps to the perfect house wash. The reason why I give the 26 steps to the perfect house wash is it isn't just because I want you to not screw up. Most of the probably 75% of the 26 steps of the house wash is all marketing. It's all marketing. It's not about the job we got today, but how do we get the job 2 weeks from now? How do we get the job a month from now? How do we get a job 6 months from now? When I'm telling you to take pictures of the house all over, it isn't so that if you screw something up, it's so that you can put that photo in a marketing or on your website, so then that way it's going to draw more traffic to you so you can close more jobs, right? Same thing with Jason is, here's the other person here. They got tons and tons of competition. And I know one of their competitors is in my mentorship, and I struggle so hard to get him to raise his prices. He does not want to raise his prices. He's scared to death to raise his prices. But Lindy has an average ticket of $2,000, and they work part-time on the weekends. And she just sent me a message today. And if you don't believe me, I'll show you. She sent me a message today. Let me zoom out and zoom back in here. Look, Miss Lindy right here. You read that right. Well, here, because that's pretty cool too. Look. So we did an IP deck. Look at these little bitty houses that they're doing, right? These little bitty houses. And all they do is work Saturdays and Sundays. So today alone, we made $1,200 in tips. Yep, you heard that right. We have $86,000 total from beginning of the year that we're booked up to June 11th. With plenty of open spots. And I promise you that they have way more competition than a lot of you do. You know how I know? Because I've got a bunch of people in my membership that are from the Charlotte area. But you know what? They're doing well. The other dude that I know that's doing really well, he's a cop and he's got a full-time business and they're killing it. I've got other people that are killing it and they don't worry about the competition. The people that worry about their competition aren't killing it because they're like, ooh, look at that person over there. He's charging $99. But you don't see what she's charging for these big houses because you're worried about the little stuff. We have to focus, and I'm not just getting on the one person here. There's a lot of you struggle with this. We struggle with, what's my competitor do that's only $99? I don't have self-belief that I can make $1,000 per house. I don't believe I'm worth $1,000. And guess what? You are worth $1,000 an hour. You are worth $1,000 an hour. I promise you. And you can do it. Now, you have to learn that skill, and there might be a skill that you may need to get better at so that you can close it. Some of the skill might be how to sell better, how to sound better on the phone. I've heard phone calls and I just pull my hair and say, I don't know what to tell you because you suck on the phone. But you know what? They making money. And so you can do it too. I'm surprised there's a lot of business in Sterling. They won't pay that. Look, that's the mindset that they won't pay that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. We go through and we look at this, and here's the thing. Here's my thing about that. A lot of times I got a message the other day. I get lots of messages if you don't know. I try to get to most of them, but I don't because there's a lot of them. And so the message was, Jason, how do I get higher? I'm asking higher prices, but I'm not closing many jobs. And so my question is, well, how many jobs are you closing? Well, I'm closing 1 to 3 out of 10. Well, are you closing 1 out of 10 or are you closing 3 out of 10? Because if you're closing 3 out of 10, you're doing good with an average high ticket. That's where we want to be at. 3 to 4, we want to be at 30 to 50%. I like to be at 50, but I can show you a lot of people at 30% making $250,000, $750,000, and they're at that 30% range, right? Jeremy Main, the old garbage man I always talk about, he did $800,000. Their close rate's like 32%. Jason Hefner did $250,000 last year. His close percent's 33%. DJ, my buddy, did almost $200,000, and his close rate was like 32%, right in that area. And so if you're closing three jobs out of 10, then go put out more signs, right? Go get the phone to ring more. We got to get the phone ringing more so that way we can keep raising our prices. See, a lot of problem people fall into is they don't want to raise their prices, so they stay at a $200 average ticket, and then they wonder why they can't make no money. These jobs I'm showing you from Lindy, they're $6,000, $8,000, $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 jobs. And you know what happens when you get, if you focus on taking pictures of the $200 house washes and that's all you post, what are you going to get? You're going to get more $200 house washes. But if you can get $500, $1,000 house washes, and they're big, nice, $500,000 houses, there's $300,000 houses, there's $700,000 houses, guess what? You'll get more of those. That's why I don't tell people to put the bad, nasty, dirty before and after pictures, because most of your before and after pictures of bad, nasty, dirty is of trailers. Do you want more trailers, or do you want the house that's not very dirty? In mentorship the other day, they got talking, and I seen it come up somewhere else of, man, what do I do? This house ain't even dirty. You go spray it with a little bit of bleach and you clean it. and you just move on. We don't want dirty houses. I see a lot of people get to people and they'll go, man, I'm going to go to this neighborhood because they're dirty and they're nasty. Guess what? They're dirty and nasty because they don't clean them. And you think you're going to change their mind? I got news for you. You're not going to change their mind. Go to where the clean houses are, and guess what? That's where we want to be at. Those are your best customers. They'll come year after year after year. Some of them will have you out every 6 months to clean the stupid house because it makes them feel good. And whatever I can make them feel good with, I'm going to make them feel good with because it's going to make my wallet feel good. And I'm not going to worry about it. If that's what they want, I'll do it. I'll make it happen. How's it going? Cars, lots, cost per car. They're usually like $5. They will, if they want it done right away. I usually listen to these videos at work. Good. And now that I have tuned into the video, man, you look good and good progress, man. Thanks. Customer told me they found someone $200 cheaper than me. I told them, great, cheaper is great. Thank you for your time, and God bless. Here's the thing about that, because we this is one thing that's important, is overcoming objections, right? That's an objection. How do we overcome that? And so it doesn't matter if it's that objection. It doesn't matter if it's, I got to talk to my husband. That's an objection. You're too expensive. That's an objection. How do we overcome those objections? You know, sometimes we may need to say, hey, you know, we need to make sure you're not comparing apples. We need to make sure that we're comparing apples to apples. Do they have insurance? Do they, you know, we're going to give them the benefits of why they should be using us. Nathan, I worked 51 minutes away today, but I have almost competition to drive necessary. Donovan is my favorite competitor. There's more pressure washers than ever this year. What is it? Lots of sand, some dirt from Arizona came over the pavers. I am late, but I'm here. What's going on? How you doing? Thanks. I really needed to hear that. Nathan, not worried about me. I'm not worried him because there's tons of work and there's people. Worry about yourself and go. Just make sure it's sealed. I'm always looking at new ways to set myself apart. I never worry about my competitor. I just do my thing. The key is listen to your customers and they tell you what they want. But you know what you got to do that? You got to shut up and let them talk. That's what you got to do. And I know I say that sometimes and it sounds harsh, but that's what it is. I don't know. I would be leery. I'll inbox you. They won't pay it if you don't ask. You know, this right here is key. If you don't ask for it and you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe that you're worth that, they won't pay for it. If you're like, yeah, I think that'll be like $600, well, they're not going to buy from you because you don't even believe in your own self, right? You have to believe in yourself. And here's the thing, Dan Maddox and Lindy, they comment right next to you. They're the ones that I showed you that did 85,000. You know, when he came to our Christmas light class, was it Christmas light or pressure washing class? I don't know. It might have been both. They came to our in-person class, and they were doing a lot of Facebook, and they wasn't asking for it, and they started asking for it because they were getting burned out. And guess what? Now they're making more money. That's how that works. Know your numbers, improve, duplicate. So they're at a 31% close rate. Love cleaning the clean houses. Jason went off. Sorry, I know. I didn't mean. Hey, dang it, forgot it was 8. So if you want to know when I go live, you can go to type in text King, King, to 859-696-1101, and I send out a text right before I go live. So that way you know when I go live. So if you didn't know I was going live and forgot, and you want me to text, that is how I can remind you to get on. Cleaned a house in 39 minutes for $450. It's awesome. If I get denied on an estimate, I just tell it was a pleasure to meet them, and if there's any questions, have time to reach out. And it's a good thing to do follow-up. You still want to follow up because the other person may not have done it. A lot of people have this fear of success. It was Christmas lights. Walmart said I was too high this morning. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? But again, if you want to know when I go live, text King. That way you can go there. If you want to know if you want to do the King of Pressure Washing training, in-person training, you can go to KPW, then it'll take you to the Cincinnati one is first. June 2nd and 3rd is for permanent lighting, and then the pressure washing class is the next one on Saturday and Sunday. And this is a training that you actually get hands-on. You actually get to spray the pressure washer. We actually got a gas pump, so you get to use the gas pump if you've never used the gas comment pump. You also get to use the 10-gallon a minute. You get to use all different kinds of equipment, the water-fed pole, everything. You get to use the equipment. And then on the Christmas lights, we will be doing a house. It's a 1-story. There will be some ladder work. I'll probably rent a lift just so that way might be a little bit safer, and that way we can make sure that everything gets done. But go check out that. And then lastly, kingofpressurewash.com. If you want to join there, you definitely go check it out. Then there we have every Monday night I do a coaching call, so that way you can grow your business. We've seen people go from average tickets of $250 to $800-900, $1,000. So that's why you want to join. And then lastly but not least, if you need a website and any marketing stuff, go check out kingofmarketing.io. Other than that, I hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you all later.